red convertible is still sitting on the shoulder when I pull in behind the police cars. For a few seconds, I just sit there with my hands on the wheel, looking through the windshield at a car I know far too well. Jack's car. Except Jack isn't standing next to it. Jack, where are you?
At home. Why do you sound like you've seen a ghost?
Because I'm in Washington, looking at your red convertible on the side of the highway with police all over it.
You're looking at my what?
Your car. Some guy's getting arrested beside it.
That's the one they stole last week. Police said they had a lead, but nobody told me it made it all the way out there.
So you're not in Washington?
No, little brother. I'm in Montana, missing a convertible and apparently missing every update from the police department.
Right. Good. I mean, not good, but better than what I thought.
You thought I'd joined a car chase?
For about 30 seconds, yeah.
That's almost insulting. I'd at least pick a better getaway car.
Well, anyway, I'll leave it to the police. Thanks, Jack. Washington doesn't exactly give me a calm welcome, but I'm here now, and Hank Haulage is officially across another border. The road carries me toward Yakima, the dry van still tucked in behind the Mac. I pull into the Walmart delivery yard just after 3, line the trailer up, and back it in carefully. Not perfect, not terrible. The job clears as excellent. 6 and a bit hours, $981. That takes the bank to $1,099. Not exactly empire money, but after buying the trailer and limping into year 2 almost empty, I'll take every dollar I can get.
Congratulations, Morrison. First official Washington delivery complete. You want more work from Yakima?
That's why I'm calling. Anything moving west?
Packaged food. Yakima to Seattle, DFA to Walmart. 23,000 pounds, $624.
Seattle? That's new.
It is. And there's someone there I want you to meet.
That sounds either helpful or expensive.
Both, probably. He runs the Peterbilt shop in Seattle. Knows trucks, hiring, fleet growth, mistakes people make when they expand too fast.
You've been talking about me?
A little. He's heard about the young guy from Billings trying to build a company out of one old Mac and stubborn decisions.
That's unfair. Some of the decisions are only lightly stubborn.
Pick up the food, get to Seattle, sleep, and meet him in the morning.
Copy that. DFA sits out through a gravel track near Fox Hill Ranch, and the drive-in feels nothing like the city drop-off I just left. Dust under the tires, fencing along the road, buildings tucked away like the place has been there longer than the highway. I back the dry van into the loading area, wait while 23,000 pounds of packaged food goes into the trailer, then roll out of Yakima around 4:30. Seattle is waiting on the other side of the mountains, and I've never been there. The sun starts dropping as I head west. Washington changes shape as the miles pass. Dry country, slowly giving way to darker trees, bigger roads, more traffic, and that heavy feeling of a major city pulling everything toward it. By the time Seattle appears, it's night. Headlights, road signs, ramps, buildings, traffic. For a kid from Billings with one truck and almost no money, Seattle feels enormous. I keep both hands steady, follow the GPS, and remind myself that every big city is just a bunch of smaller turns pretending to be a monster. The Walmart yard sits dark behind the store. I swing around back, line up the trailer, and back it in. Job complete. Excellent rating. $624. I'm not rich, but I'm moving. I find the truck stop, tuck the Mac in for the night, and set the brake. Tomorrow morning, I meet the man Mia wants me to meet. And maybe, if he knows what he's talking about, I find out what Hank Haulage is supposed to become next. Morning in Seattle doesn't feel anything like Billings. Back home, the day sort of opens up slowly. Space, sky, yards, wide streets. Here, the city is already awake before I am. Cars moving, lights changing, trucks pulling into warehouses, people walking like they've all got somewhere important to be and they're already late. I roll out of the truck stop after 9 and head for the Peterbilt dealer. One of those names every trucker knows, even if they don't drive one. The place is closed because it's Sunday, but there's a Mustang parked out front and one office light glowing inside. That has to be him. His name is Ray Callahan. Mia says he used to run a small fleet out of Seattle before selling most of it and moving into trucks, parts, and advising operators who were smart enough to ask questions before they burned money.
You must be Hank Morrison.
That depends how much Mia told you.
Enough. One old Mac, one dry van, one company name, and barely enough cash to make it through a bad week.
She left out my charm.
No, she mentioned it. Said it was still under finance. So, you want to grow?
I think so. I mean, I don't want Hank Haulage to just be me forever.
Then your first mistake would be buying toys. Chrome, paint, a bigger sleeper, things that make you feel successful. Don't do that yet.
That's a shame. I had a whole fantasy involving a very shiny truck.
Keep the fantasy. Delay the invoice. Your first real step is a driver.
Mia said you knew people.
I know a few who are worth calling, but a driver needs a truck. Some can run freight market work, but if you've already got a trailer, that's an asset. Put someone in a truck, give them the trailer, let them earn while you keep chasing the better jobs.
So I buy another truck, hire a driver, and hand them the trailer I just spent all summer buying.
That's ownership. You give up the thing you wanted so the company can use it better than you can.
That sounds horrible.
It is. That's why most drivers never become owners. They love the wheel too much to build the business behind it. What have you got in the bank?
1,700, give or take.
Then you don't have a driver problem yet. You've got a saving problem.
That one I already understood.
Good. Spend autumn working. Use the trailer. Stay in Washington if the loads are there. Get to 10, 12 grand if you can. Then find a used day cab and someone steady enough not to destroy it.
And if I can't?
Then you keep driving until you can. Growth doesn't care about your calendar.
Got it. Thanks, Ray. For now, all I can do is earn. I leave Seattle with one clear objective. By the end of autumn, I need enough money for a second truck. The next job takes me from Seattle to Spokane. Lemonade from CMACGM to BNSF. $876. Not huge. But Washington is still new, and every job here teaches me the state. Seattle sits on Puget Sound, one of America's major port regions, and you can feel that in the freight. Containers, warehouses, rail links, distribution yards. It isn't just a city. It's a machine that eats ships and spits out cargo. I get the Lemonade loaded, pull out of Seattle, and head east. The road climbs away from the coast, away from the city lights, back through the wide stretches of Washington where the land opens up and the traffic finally gives me room to breathe. Spokane is on the other side of the state, closer to Idaho, and it feels like a different world from Seattle. Less port city, more inland hub. Rail, warehouses, roads heading every direction. The delivery clears. Excellent again. $867 into the account. The bank creeps up to around 2.5 grand. Not enough. Not even close. But autumn has started moving. From Spokane, I take guardrails to Bellingham. Another $845. Nothing glamorous, but useful freight. Steel on the books, miles on the tires. Washington getting smaller in my head. By the time I roll into Bellingham, it's dark. I pull into XPO Logistics, drop the load, and park for the night. 2 days into autumn, and Ray's words are still sitting in my head. Give up the thing you wanted so the company can use it better than you can. Monday morning starts in Bellingham. Packaged food to Kennewick. $880. No drama, no speeches, just work. and honestly, that becomes most of autumn. The big story isn't one job, it's the repetition. Load after load, yard after yard. Washington slowly turning from somewhere new into somewhere I can actually understand. The land feels drier there, more open, more like the Washington I didn't expect before I crossed the border. Not all forests and rain. A lot of this state is hills, farms, desert color, and long roads under a pale sky. The packaged food delivery clears. Excellent. The account climbs again. Then the cargo market gives me something more interesting. Kennewick to Grand Coulee. Dynamite. $959. Hazardous freight still makes me sit up straighter. It isn't just another box in the trailer. It's paperwork, responsibility, and the kind of cargo that reminds you not to get casual with 40 feet of steel behind you. I get loaded and start north. The road to Grand Coulee feels different, smaller, quieter, more remote. And then the dam appears. The Grand Coulee Dam isn't just big, it's ridiculous. A concrete wall across the Columbia River, one of the largest power-producing structures in the United States, built during an era when America seemed determined to reshape the landscape with steel, concrete, and impossible confidence. I slow down near the viewpoint because there's no way I'm just driving past it. This is the part nobody told me about when I wanted to become a trucker. I thought it would be freight, fuel, repairs, long hours. And it is. But sometimes it's also this. A dam glowing in the dark, a truck cooling under you, and a view you'd never have seen if you'd stayed home waiting for life to become convenient. I take the dynamite down into the canyon area and deliver it near the bottom. Excellent rating, $959, 8 hours on the clock. Then I climb back up to the truck stop near the view, back the Mac in, and sleep with the dam sitting out there in the night like some giant stone machine. Morning comes with one of the best views I've had since starting this company.
You sound awake.
I'm parked above Grand Coulee Dam, so yeah, I'm awake. Hard not to be.
Pretty place.
That's underselling it.
Fine. Very large concrete wonder. Better?
Much better.
I've got more dynamite if your concrete wonder has inspired you.
That sentence feels risky.
Grand Coulee to Colville, $816. Shorter run, still hazardous.
I'll take it. Thanks, Mia. I head back down, load the next dynamite run, and move toward Colville. The road takes me through smaller town Washington, past trees, hills, roadside businesses, and one burger place that makes me consider whether a trucking company can claim fries as operational fuel. Colville itself feels small, practical, tucked into the northeast of the state. I roll through town, make my way to the quarry and construction yard, and drop the load. Excellent again. $816. By now, the account is around $6,000. Better. Still not enough. From Colville, I take dry milk all the way to Olympia. $977. Olympia is the state capital of Washington, which makes it feel a little strange arriving there at night with a dry van full of milk powder. But that's trucking. Sometimes history is marble buildings and government offices. Sometimes it's a Target loading dock at 11 at night. The job clears. Excellent. The account pushes past $7,000. Then Olympia back to Spokane with more dynamite. $1,234. A proper good one. The roads start blending together in the way they do when a season becomes work instead of adventure. Fuel stops, way stations, loading doors, trailer checks, white lines, dark hills, early mornings. But the money is moving, and I can feel myself getting better. Not in some dramatic way, just small things. Cleaner turns, better backing, less panic when the yard is tight, less guessing where the trailer will go. By the time I drop the dynamite in Spokane, the account sits around $8,300. Still not enough for the right truck, but close enough that I can taste the decision coming. The next run takes me to Vancouver, Washington. Not Canada, Washington's Vancouver, down on the Columbia River, just across from Portland, Oregon. It's a strange thing, seeing a name you think you know and realizing America has another one waiting somewhere else. The steel bridge into the area catches the evening light, and for a moment, the whole place feels like a gateway. North, south, east, west. Hank Haulage has spent autumn inside Washington learning its corners, but now it's time to turn back toward Montana. Because if I'm going to buy a truck, I want to do it at home. Thursday morning, I leave Vancouver with guardrails, bound for Spokane. $790. By now, Washington doesn't feel new in the same way. It's still big, still beautiful, still full of places I've barely touched, but the fear has gone out of it. Seattle, Spokane, Bellingham, Kennewick, Grand Coulee, Colville, Olympia, Vancouver. Names on a map have become yards, roads, turns, and payslips. The Spokane delivery clears around midday. Excellent. The bank sits just under 10 grand. Then I see the job that finally points me home. Spokane to Butte. Dynamite. $1,400. It feels right. One last hazardous load, out of Washington and back into Montana. The kind of job that says autumn isn't finished yet, but the season is turning toward its answer. The drive into Butte comes at night. Butte is mining country, copper country, a place built on digging value out of hard ground. That feels fitting, because this whole autumn has been the same idea in trucking form. Small jobs, hard miles, a little value carved out of every run. I back the dynamite into the construction yard, careful and slow, and the delivery clears. Excellent. Good XP. Good money. Another notch of confidence, reversing the trailer into a tight spot. Friday morning, I take computers from Butte to Billings. $922 from Keeney and Nagel. Home freight. The kind of job that feels smaller than the miles behind me, but bigger because of where it ends. Billings comes back into view, and I realize how different it feels now. When I left, Hank Haulage was one man, one truck, one trailer, and a ridiculous idea. Now I'm coming back with $12,196 in the bank, almost level 7, and a plan that scares me because it might actually work. I drop the computers, collect the money, and drive back to HQ. The old one-truck garage is waiting in the middle of Billings. Home. Too small now, but still home. I open the used truck listings, and there it is. A white Mack Anthem day cab. Same shape as mine. Same look. 3-star condition. 755,000 miles. $11,050. It's not new. It's not fancy. It's not a dream truck. It's exactly what I need. I've only got one garage slot. One truck. Mine. Cliff, tell me I'm reading this wrong.
That depends what you're reading.
I found the truck. White Mack Anthem. Same as mine. 11 grand. But I can't buy it because the garage only holds one truck.
Of course it only holds one truck. You've got a one-truck garage.
I was hoping the building would be more optimistic.
Buildings don't run on optimism, Morrison. You want more trucks, you need more space.
How much space?
Upgrade the place. 3 slots. Room for yours, the new one, and another if you keep making reckless progress.
And how much is that going to hurt?
About 150 grand.
Cliff.
Don't say my name like I built the economy.
I don't have 150 grand.
No, but banks do.
I really wanted to avoid a loan.
Everyone does. Then they try to grow a business.
What if it buries me?
Then don't borrow to look successful. Borrow to earn. A second driver and another truck can help pay for the thing that made them possible.
That almost sounds wise. Okay, thanks, Cliff. I'll call the bank now.
Good luck!
It was bound to happen eventually. I hate that he's right. So I call the bank.
This is the bank, Hope speaking.
Hi, Hope. My name's Hank Morrison. I run Hank Haulage out of Billings. I've submitted paperwork for a business loan.
I've got it here. Garage expansion, fleet growth, second vehicle purchase plan.
That's right. I need to upgrade from a single truck garage to a 3-truck setup.
And you're requesting $150,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Your business is young, but the delivery record is clean and the projected driver income helps. I can approve it under the terms listed. 6% interest, daily repayment of $906.
That number sounds louder when you say it.
Most loan numbers do.
I'm trying to build this the right way.
Then remember something, Hank. Debt is a tool, not a rescue plan. Use it to create income, not comfort.
That's good advice.
It's expensive advice if people ignore it.
I won't.
Then congratulations, your loan is approved.
Amazing. Thank you, Hope. You have a great day.
You too, Mr. Morrison. Bye.
I hang up and stare at the screen for a second. One click, and Hank Haulage changes shape. I take the loan. Then I upgrade the garage. $150,000 gone, just like that. For about a week, the builders take over the yard. Trucks, tools, concrete, framing, doors, lights. The old 1-truck setup stretches into something bigger. When it's finished, it still feels like my place. Just less like a dream hiding in a shed. More like a company. Then I buy the Mac. $11,050. The second white Anthem slots into the garage beside mine, and for the first time ever, Hank Haulage owns more than 1 truck. Now I need someone to drive it. The recruitment agency gives me a name. Pierre B. Older guy, beard, calm face. Driver rating 0.8. Wage of $61 per delivery plus 51 cents a mile. A little experience in flammable cargo, high-value freight, and fragile loads. Not a superstar, but steady is worth more than shiny. Pierre, this is Hank Morrison from Hank Haulage.
Good to hear from you. I saw the listing. Billings-based, right?
That's right. Small company. Very small, actually, but growing.
Small doesn't scare me. Bad equipment does.
Fair. You'd be in a used Mac Anthem day cab. White, 3-star condition. High miles, but serviceable. Same model as mine.
You drive one yourself?
Every day.
Then at least you know what you're asking someone else to sit in.
That's the idea. I've also got a dry van trailer ready for company work.
What kind of freight?
Whatever keeps the lights on. Food, retail, hazmat if the license fits, high value when we can get it.
I can work with that.
Then I'd like to offer you the job.
I'll take it.
Welcome to Hank Haulage, Pierre.
Perfect. See you Monday, boss.
Boss. That word lands harder than I expect. Year 1, I was trying to prove I could get a truck. Autumn of year 2, I come home with a loan, a bigger garage, a second Mac, and another man driving under my company name. The bank account is almost empty again. The loan starts tomorrow. Pierre starts tomorrow. And for the first time, Hank Haulage is no longer just me. It's a fleet. A tiny one. A terrifying one. But a fleet. Winter is sitting hard over Billings. The yard is white. The roof lines are white. The roads are white. And Hank Haulage suddenly looks bigger than it feels. 3 garage bays now. 2 white Mac Anthems. 1 dry van trailer. 1 employee out on his first jobs. And me, standing in the middle of it all, with about $500 in the bank and a loan payment waiting for me every morning like it owns the place.
Pierre's been dispatched. First few runs are small, mostly around Montana and Wyoming.
Good. Keep him close for now. I'd rather he gets used to the truck before we send him halfway across the country.
Sensible. Slightly surprising, but sensible.
I've been known to have one good idea per season.
Then use this one. You need money fast, but not stupid fast. I've got a freight job out of Laurel.
What are we hauling?
Mobile crusher. Laurel to Rollins, Wyoming. 88,500 pounds.
Just under $3,000.
That's heavier than my confidence right now.
Then drive carefully. Alvarez out.
Laurel is only just down the road from Billings, but with the snow down and the loan in my head, it feels like I'm leaving home all over again. I pull out of the depot, past the new garage doors, past the space where one truck has already gone out to earn, and head for Union Pacific. The mobile crusher is waiting on a long, heavy trailer, all steel and weight and ugly purpose. It looks like something built to chew rocks and ignore opinions. I line up, hook on, check the mirrors, and feel the max settle under it. This is exactly why I'm back in the freight market for now. The company trailer can earn steady money with Pierre. I need the big, awkward, high-experience freight. The kind that makes me better and keeps the bank from coughing dust. We leave Laurel in the snow and start south. The first part of the drive is quiet. Cold roads, gray sky, the kind of winter light that makes everything look like it's been rubbed with ash. Then the road starts giving me scenery. Low river levels between snowy banks, rock walls along the highway, tunnels punched through stone, the Mack pulling hard, the trailer following like it's thinking about disagreeing with me, but hasn't found the courage yet. Wyoming opens up in the dark. Rawlins sits out there in the cold, a railroad and highway town with a working feel to it. Not polished, not soft, just practical. I pull into the Union Pacific Depot at night, ease the mobile crusher through the yard, and set it down exactly where it needs to go. Job complete. Excellent. Just under $3,000. For the first time since taking the loan, I can breathe a little. Not much, a little. Because Winter's goal is clear now. We need to earn enough to buy the next company trailer, a flatbed. Something that lets Hank Haulage take more than boxed freight. Machinery, materials, equipment. The kind of loads that look good on the road and open the company up. Pierre has the dry van. I need the next tool. And with the snow outside the sleeper, Rawlins behind me, and the first proper winter job paid, I chat tomorrow. Mia says she has something in Utah, a state I've never touched. And apparently, if I can get myself there, she's already been saying my name again. Saturday morning starts in Rawlins. Cold, clear, and sharp enough to make the whole yard look frozen in place.
I've got a route south if you want it.
South sounds warmer. I'm listening.
Rawlins to Salina, Utah. Autonomous tractors. 2 units. DFA to Leaper. $2,300.
Utah?
First time for Hank Haulage, unless you went without telling me.
I can barely sneak past a fuel receipt. You'd know.
There are also a couple of specialist loads down there. I put your name forward.
You keep doing that.
You keep proving me right.
So kind of you. Thanks, Mia. I pick up the autonomous tractors from DFA just after 7. 2 machines strapped down on the trailer. Clean and expensive looking. The kind of freight that feels like the future sitting behind an old Mack with too many miles. We head south with snow still on the ground and sun cutting through the cold. Utah comes in quietly at first. A border sign, a change in the land, a different color to the distance. Then the state starts showing itself. Utah is famous for red rock, desert basins, mountains, national parks, mining, and wide roads that look like they were drawn with a ruler and a dare. Salina sits in central Utah, small and tucked into the route network, the sort of place that makes sense for freight because it connects bigger places without trying to be one. I pull through the gates, back the trailer in, and finish the job clean. Excellent. $2,323. A nice hit of money, a nice hit of confidence. And then, Mia gives me the one she really wanted me here for.
Special transport out of Salina. Destination, Cedar City. Articulated hauler.
That's the giant dump truck thing?
That's the technical description, yes.
How big?
Big enough that you'll have escorts. Front and rear.
Same crew as last time?
Looks like it.
Good. They already know I'm only mostly a problem. Thanks again, Mia. By late afternoon, the load is sitting there under work lights. A massive articulated hauler strapped to a double-jointed heavy trailer, changed down, checked, and checked again. The escorts are waiting. I take a breath. This is the kind of job that doesn't pay the most money, but it pays in reputation.
Morrison, good to see you again. Same rules. Stay with me, no sudden lane changes, and don't try to become creative.
Copy that. Creativity is parked for the evening.
I'll watch the traffic behind. You watch that trailer. It's got more elbows than a family dinner.
That's comforting.
Wasn't meant to be.
We roll out of Salina around 5. Winter makes the light disappear early, and by the time the route stretches properly ahead of us, the road is already going dark. The hauler sits wide and heavy behind me. Every turn is slower. Every lane feels narrower. Every sign and barrier looks like it woke up wanting to be involved. The strange thing is, I like this. Not because it's easy, because it isn't. There's no pretending on a job like this. You either control the truck, or the truck explains physics to you in public. And right now, with escorts front and rear, Utah falling dark around us, and Hank Haulage written on the side of my cab, I feel like maybe the company is earning its name.
Morrison? Tell me that ain't you dragging a dump truck through Utah with a police parade?
Depends who's asking.
Sidewinder, professional rumor collector. I heard Hank Haulage has employees now.
1 employee.
Look at you. Last year you borrowed trucks. Now you're becoming traffic management.
I'm trying not to hit anything large enough to be in a county record.
Proud of you, buddy. Terrified for Utah, but proud.
He disappears back into the noise of the road, and I keep the Mac steady. By the time we reach Cedar City, it's late. Cedar City sits in southern Utah, known as a gateway toward national parks and red rock country. But tonight, I'm not sightseeing. I'm threading a giant load through town and trying not to make the local news.
Final approach. Keep it slow through the turns.
Traffic is held. You're clear behind.
Copy. Bringing it in. See you next time, guys. At BHP, the escorts peel off, and I take the load into the yard. The final parking is slow, ugly, and careful, which is trucking for successful. Job complete. Excellent. $1,000 and change. 583 XP. Level 7. I put the new skill point into Class 3 flammable liquids. That's Winter doing its job. More risk, more skill, more doors opening. And somewhere back behind all of this, Pierre is out there with the dry van, carrying the first piece of Hank Haulage that isn't being driven by me. Cedar City is quiet by the time the special transport paperwork clears. Pierre, how's the first stretch treating you?
Truck's steady. Trailer's behaving. I've done a few smaller runs around Montana. One down toward Casper. Nothing dramatic.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
You sure? Some bosses like dramatic, if it pays.
Dramatic is fine when I'm driving. When it's my truck and my trailer somewhere else, I like boring.
Then you'll be happy. 4 jobs in. No angry customers, no damaged freight.
Good work.
Don't spend the money before I earn it.
Too late. I've already emotionally bought a flatbed.
That sounds like a you problem, boss.
Boss still sounds strange, but less strange than it did a week ago. The next morning, I pick up almond boxes out of Cedar City, bound for Evanston, Wyoming. Penske Logistics double-dry trailer, $1,500. Not a monster job, not a special transport. Just a good, honest run back north with enough money attached to make it worth the miles. The snow returns on the way up. White shoulders, gray highway. The kind of winter that makes the world feel quieter even when the truck is working hard. Evanston is new to me, sitting in southwest Wyoming near the Utah line. It has that border town feeling, useful, practical, shaped by roads and rail and people passing through. I dropped the almond boxes at Keeney and Nagel. Excellent. $1,500 in the bank. From Evanston, I grab a load of big tires heading back into Utah, to Vernal. Kiewit to ExxonMobil, $1,000. Vernal sits in northeastern Utah, known for energy, mining, and dinosaur country, which is a strange combination until you spend enough time out here and realize the land has been keeping old things under it for a very long time. The tires are easy freight compared to what I've been hauling. Big, visible, useful. The kind of job that doesn't scare you, but still pays the bills. Another delivery, another excellent rating, another $1,000.
You still in Vernal?
Just dropped tires.
Good. I've got chlorine from Vernal to Ogden, UOP to BNSF. 51,000 pounds, $2,325.
That's the new flammable liquids license already paying off?
Technically, chlorine isn't a flammable liquid, but it sits in the hazardous world you've been unlocking. Dangerous enough to make people careful, valuable enough to make them pay.
That's a very Mia way to sell poison.
I prefer regulated freight.
Of course you do.
Have fun out there. Alvarez out.
I hook onto the chlorine load and pull out with a different kind of attention. Hazardous cargo changes the way you think. It isn't just weight, it's consequence. No sharp moves, no stupid chances, no pretending the trailer behind you is just another box. The drive into Ogden brings early winter darkness. Ogden sits north of Salt Lake City, historically a major rail junction, one of those places where freight has mattered for a long time. Roads, rail, warehouses, industry. A good place for Hank Haulage to be seen doing serious work. I pull through town around 7, back into BNSF, and set the chlorine down. Excellent. $2,325. Now the account is starting to look alive again. Not rich. Alive. The next morning is lighter work. Ogden to Rock Springs. 3 brand new Kenworth trucks from dealer to dealer. $1,100. There's something unfair about hauling 3 shiny trucks behind my battered old Mac. No discount for delivery, apparently. Still, it's a good run. Clean roads, decent pay, and a reminder that one day Hank Haulage needs better equipment, not just more equipment. I drop the trucks at Kenworth and Rock Springs and check the numbers. $13,347 in the bank. For the first time this winter, I open the trailer market without immediately laughing at myself. Dry van, we already have. Bottom dumper, interesting, but not yet. Flatbed, locked until level 8. Around $30,000. That's the target. A proper flatbed means more kinds of freight, better visuals, more flexibility, and eventually, another company trailer for another driver. I check used trucks too. Another Mack Anthem day cab is listed for around 25 grand. Too much. For now. Winter isn't about buying everything. Winter is about getting ready. And level 8 is sitting just up the road. From Rock Springs, I take a scraper down to Cheyenne. $1,500. A long, awkward piece of machinery on a trailer that makes every corner feel like a small negotiation. Cheyenne is Wyoming's capital, but it also feels like a freight crossroads. Interstates, rail, industry, that mix of government and grit you get in places that have had to matter for a long time. I pull into BNSF, drop the scraper, and take the money. Another job done. Another chunk of experience. Another step closer.
You're in Cheyenne?
Just finished the scraper.
Good. I've got a request. Massive tech part. Cheyenne to Rock Springs. Same type of specialist work you handled before.
They asked for us?
They asked if the Billings driver with the white Mac was available.
That's almost a compliment.
Don't let it make you weird.
Too late.
$1,740. Not the biggest money, but excellent experience and very good reputation.
Book it. By 6:30, it's already dark. Winter nights don't wait around. The massive tech part sits loaded and secured, strange and oversized, the kind of cargo that looks expensive even if you don't know what it does. The escorts are back again.
Morrison, round 2 for the winter. Keep it tidy and we'll all get home bored.
Bored sounds perfect.
I'll take boring. Last guy I had thought cones were suggestions.
I respect cones deeply.
That's the spirit.
We roll out of Cheyenne into the dark. The route back to Rock Springs feels different under escort. Slower, tighter, more official. Every ramp and lane change has a rhythm. Lead calls it. Rear protects it. I just keep the Mac smooth and the trailer honest. These are the jobs that build the name. Not because they pay the most, because someone has to trust you before they hand you something this big, this awkward, and this expensive. Hank Haulage is still tiny. 1 garage in Billings, 2 trucks, 1 employee, 1 dry van. A loan payment that bites every morning. But tonight, on a winter highway in Wyoming, with escorts front and rear, the company feels bigger than the numbers.
Still awake back there? Hold your speed steady.
Yes, sir. Copy. Holding.
Traffic's stacking but behaving. You're clear.
That might be the nicest thing traffic's ever done for me.
Don't compliment it. It'll hear you.
The miles pass slowly. Dark road, snow at the edges. Lights ahead, lights behind, and the tech part sitting there like a test I'm not allowed to fail. By the time Rock Springs comes back into view, I'm tired in that deep, quiet way that makes everything feel sharper.
Final turn ahead. Wide entry. Take the space.
Back is clear. Nice and easy.
Bringing it in. The escorts stop outside, and I take the load into the yard. The parking takes patience. A few corrections. No rushing. No pride. Just get it done. Job complete. Excellent. $1,700. 1,019 XP. The level bar jumps hard, almost all the way to level 8. I sit there for a second, staring at the screen. That one job nearly does what a dozen small ones couldn't. That's the lesson. Not every load is equal. Some pay in money, some pay in reputation, some drag the whole company forward. The last shown run of winter is simpler. Rock Springs to Price, Utah. 3 brand new blue Kenworths from Kenworth to Kenworth. $1,300. I hook them up in the snow, pull out carefully, and head south as winter starts running out beneath the tires. Price is new ground too, sitting in eastern Utah, shaped by mining, highways, and that rugged space between mountains and desert. I back the load into the Kenworth yard and complete the delivery. Another excellent rating, another city reached, another bit of Utah added to the Hank Haulage map. After that, the final days of winter blur together. A few smaller runs, a few fuel stops. Pierre sending short updates from Montana and Wyoming. Loan payments coming out every morning. Money in, money out. The company breathing. Not comfortably yet, but breathing. And then, finally, the number hits. Level 8. Flatbed unlocked. Winter starts with $500, a second truck, a new employee, and a loan big enough to make the garage feel haunted. It ends with Utah on the map, special cargo behind us, hazardous freight unlocked, Pierre working steady, and level 8 in the books. The flatbed is waiting. Spring is coming. And for the first time this year, I don't just have a problem to solve. I have the next piece of the company ready to buy.
Spring arrives in Billings without asking permission. One week there's snow packed against the garage doors. The next, the roads are dry. The yard looks alive again. And Hank Haulage has just enough money to make one more dangerous decision. $31,763 in the bank. The flatbed trailer costs $30,700, which means, mathematically, I can afford it. Emotionally, that's a different question. This is how trucking gets you. You spend winter clawing your way out of the hole, telling yourself you're finally getting ahead. Then spring turns up with sunshine and a purchase screen. But this isn't chrome. This isn't paint. This isn't me trying to look like a bigger company than I am. This is equipment. Pierre has the dry van out earning with the second Mac. If Hank Haulage is going to keep growing, we need another trailer. Something useful, something flexible, something that lets us haul machinery, materials, construction loads, and all the awkward things that don't fit neatly inside a box. So I buy it. $30,700 gone. A new flatbed trailer delivered to Billings. $1,000 left in the account. Perfect. Terrifying, but perfect. I hook the new flatbed up in the yard, and for a moment I just sit there looking at it in the mirror. It changes the whole shape of the truck. The dry van made Hank Haulage feel like a company. The flatbed makes it feel like a company with options. First stop is not a job. It's the service center down the road. Spring service. The Mac has worked hard through winter, and if I'm going to bet the entire company on another season of freight, I needed to start clean. The service costs $885. That leaves the bank looking paper thin again. But the truck is ready, the flatbed is ready, and I need work immediately.
New trailer is showing on your company profile.
That was fast.
Systems update quicker than common sense.
Good thing I only use one of those.
Cargo Market has something from Billings to Butte. Clamshell buckets, 4 of them. Newmont to Lennar, 29,000 pounds, $1,653.
That's not bad for a first flatbed run.
It's also close enough that if you embarrass yourself backing it in, only Montana has to know.
Supportive as ever. I pull into Newmont in Billings and back the flatbed into the loading area. 4 clamshell buckets get loaded and strapped down. Heavy steel sitting open on the trailer like giant scoops waiting to bite into the earth. This is already different from the dry van. With the dry van, the cargo disappears behind doors. With the flatbed, everyone can see what you're carrying. Everyone can see how it's strapped. Everyone can see if you've got it wrong. There's something honest about that. We leave Billings for Butte. Spring sun on dry road, the snow gone from the shoulders, the Mac feeling lighter than it did under winter's oversized loads. Butte waits with its mining history and hard edges. Copper made the place famous, but freight keeps places like this breathing now. Construction, machinery, materials, the things towns need when they're still building and rebuilding themselves. At Lennar, I bring the flatbed around and try to back it in. Try is the important word. It doesn't fold like the heavy trailers, and it doesn't hide its mistakes like the dry van. It responds quickly, almost too quickly, and I have to pull forward once before getting it lined up. But it goes in. Job complete. Excellent. $1,653, 122 XP. Level 8 still has a long road ahead, but the flatbed has paid its first bill. I don't call Mia for the next one. I just check the market and find something too good to ignore. Butte to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Rough terrain forklifts, $2,000. Idaho is becoming more than a border now. It's becoming part of the route. Mountain roads, forested stretches, water, towns tucked into valleys. The kind of place where a flatbed feels useful. The drive takes me into night. Coeur d'Alene sits in northern Idaho, known for its lake, timber country, tourism, and that clean mountain town look that makes you understand why people visit and never quite leave. I pull into the warehouse area, set the forklifts down, and finish the job. Excellent.
$2,000. And then the level bar finally gives me another skill point. Class 4 hazardous freight unlocks. Flammable solids, magnesium, nitrocellulose, white phosphorus, sodium, potassium. Spring is already doing what it needs to do. New trailer, new cargo, new state miles, new license, and a bank account that still looks like it fell down some stairs.
Wednesday morning starts in Coeur d'Alene with the flatbed empty and the account slowly recovering.
Where are you sitting?
Coeur d'Alene, and I can say it now without sounding like I'm choking on gravel.
Personal growth. I've got 2 mobile air compressors heading to Helena. 16,000 pounds. $1,524.
Back to Montana?
Back to Montana. Flatbed job, clean route, decent money.
Book it. The air compressors sit low and neat on the trailer. Nothing dramatic, but exactly the kind of cargo I bought this flatbed for. I strap them down and head east. The more I use the trailer, the more it starts to feel like part of the company instead of a very expensive dare. Spring roads are kind to me. Dry pavement, blue sky, the mountains losing their winter bite. I cross back into Montana, and the welcome sign feels different this time. Not like returning after running away, but like coming back with proof. Helena waits ahead, Montana's capital, built in gold rush country and still carrying that old western weight in the hills around it. A place where history, government, and freight all manage to share the same roads. I pull into Lennar, line the flatbed up at the front, and back the compressors in. Excellent. $1,524, 95 XP. Not huge experience, but clean work. And clean work keeps a company alive.
Boss, you got a minute?
For you, yes. Unless this starts with, funny thing happened.
No funny thing. Dry van's working. I've been doing Billings, Sydney, Great Falls, Havre, Glendive. Some packaged food, some fertilizer, a little dynamite.
You're getting around.
Mostly Montana, a little Wyoming. Good short work. 600 here, 400 there, 500 when the route behaves.
That money's helping more than you think.
I know. I see the loan deductions too.
Trying not to look at those directly.
That's one method.
How's the truck?
Old, loud, honest. Same as yours, I imagine.
Then it's perfect.
Perfect is a strong word, but it starts every morning.
That's good enough for me. Pierre is doing exactly what I need him to do. Nothing dramatic, no big heroic haul, just steady company income while I push the flatbed through spring. From Helena, I take roof shingles north to Kalispell, $1,337, Lennar to Lennar. Kalispell is new ground for Hank Haulage, tucked up near the Flathead Valley, close to glacier country, surrounded by the kind of Montana scenery that makes you forget you're technically working until the delivery yard reminds you. I arrive in the late evening, sun low, spring light still hanging around the hills. The drop is at a house construction site, which makes the roof shingles feel satisfyingly useful. Someone is building a home. I'm bringing the roof. That's not a bad way to spend a day. The backing is tighter than I'd like, but I get it in. Excellent. Another job done. The next morning, Kalispell gives me lumber to Kennewick, Washington. 46,000 pounds, $1,612. Heavy enough to make the Mac work. Useful enough to make the flatbed feel like the right call. I cross back toward Washington with lumber strapped down behind me, over roads that feel made for wide, scenic shots. At one point, I cross a suspension bridge, and the whole thing feels like Hank Haulage is stretching itself across the Northwest, one load at a time. Kennewick sits dry and open in the Tri-Cities region, where the Columbia River and freight routes give the place its pulse. I drop the lumber at Lennar. Excellent. $1,600. Only 33 XP, which is the problem starting to show itself. The money is coming in. The experience isn't. Still, the bank matters too. Kennewick to Lewiston, Idaho gives me 2 more rough terrain forklifts, $1,100,
And I take it partly because it pays, but mostly because Lewiston is new. Not Lewistown, Montana, Lewiston, Idaho. Different place, different state. Very easy to confuse if you say it too fast into a microphone and hope nobody notices. The drive into Lewiston gives me time to think. Spring's goal is clear now. Use the flatbed, build the bank, save for another truck. Because by summer, if this works, Hank Haulage can hire driver number 2. And if that happens, the flatbed I'm so proud of might end up with someone else too. That's growth, apparently. You buy things, get attached to them, then hand them away so the company can grow bigger than your own hands. Ray was right. I'm starting to hate how often that happens. Lewiston clears clean. Excellent delivery. Another $1,100 in the bank, taking us close to $8,000. Not rich, but moving.
Still in Lewiston?
Just dropped the forklifts.
Square tubing. Lewiston to Seattle. Metal West to Kenworth. $1,400.
Flatbed keeps finding metal.
That is generally what flatbeds do.
Fair point. Thanks, Mia. The square tubing loads neatly. Long lines of steel stacked and strapped across the trailer. It's the kind of cargo that makes the flatbed look professional, which is helpful because I'm still learning how to look professional while backing it. I leave Lewiston in the evening, heading for Seattle through the night. Seattle after dark is a different creature. City lights, wet-looking roads, traffic, signs, ramps, headlights sliding over the cab. When I first came here in autumn, Seattle felt massive. Now it still feels massive, but less impossible. That's progress. I pull into the Kenworth drop-off, back the flatbed into place, and unload the square tubing. Excellent. $1,400. Slow progress through level 8. Too slow, honestly. But the account is growing, and every job with the flatbed makes me better at using it. The next morning, I find Seattle to Spokane. More rough terrain forklifts. $1,800. At this point, I'm starting to think half the Pacific Northwest is just moving forklifts around and pretending that's a logistics strategy. But $1,800 is $1,800. I load them, leave Seattle under clear Friday morning skies, and run east across Washington. Spokane greets me with sunshine, which feels like the state apologizing for all the night driving. The drop is at a construction site at the back of town. Tight enough to make the trailer interesting, not tight enough to ruin my day. I back it in clean. Excellent. Good money. A bit of extra XP from the maneuver. Those parking bonuses matter now. Every little bit counts.
Spokane to Port Angeles. Rough terrain forklifts again. BHP to Liebherr. $2,100.
Port Angeles is new.
And this one has a ferry crossing.
A ferry? With the truck?
That is how vehicle ferries usually work, yes.
I don't know if I like how calm you are about driving a loaded flatbed onto a boat.
You'll be fine. Route takes you through Coopville, ferry to Port Townsend, then onward to Port Angeles. 35 minutes across. $100 ticket.
You're enjoying this.
A little. Don't get seasick. Alvarez out.
I take the job. Because new places matter. Because $2,100 matters. And because apparently Hank Haulage now does boats. The forklifts get loaded, strapped, checked twice, and I leave Spokane under a clean blue sky.
Morrison, I keep hearing you're hauling forklifts all over Washington.
That's because apparently Washington can't decide where to keep them.
You got that flatbed now, right?
Bought it this spring.
Look at you. First year, no truck. Now you're out here collecting trailers like state stamps.
I've got 2 trailers, and one of them is with Pierre.
That's how it starts. Next thing you know, you'll have a dispatcher, 3 drivers, and a coffee machine you call corporate infrastructure.
Don't tempt me. A coffee machine might be the smartest purchase we make all year.
Catch you around, Hank Morrison.
The drive west turns into one of those spring days that makes the whole job feel lighter. Roads open up, the light stays long, and the flatbed follows steady behind me. As the ferry approach comes closer, I call Cliff. Cliff, have you ever taken the Coopville ferry with a truck?
Several times.
Anything I should know?
Drive straight on. Don't overthink it. Pay the ticket. And don't act like the boat's waiting to personally insult you.
So, normal truck stuff, but floating.
Exactly. And Morrison?
Yeah?
Check your straps before you board and after you roll off.
Already planned to.
Good. Maybe you're becoming useful.
I pull into the ferry terminal at Coopville, pay the $100, and drive onto the boat. For 35 minutes, the truck is still. That almost feels wrong. The water sits around us, the evening light soft over the crossing, and for once, I'm moving without the tires doing the work. Port Townsend waits on the other side. The ferry docks. I roll off, stop long enough to check the load, then carry on toward Port Angeles. It's nearly 11 at night by the time I arrive. Dark roads, coastal air, and the feeling that this is a place I want to see properly in the morning. The drop-off is quiet. I back in, unload the forklifts, and finish the job. Excellent. $2,100, 95 XP. And I park for the night with the feeling that spring has finally given me something different. Not just another load. A memory. Saturday morning in Port Angeles is worth waking up for. The night before, it was just headlights and a delivery yard. Now the place has shape. Water, hills, roads, that edge-of-the-map feeling you get in a port town. The cargo market offers more rough terrain forklifts, because apparently the forklift migration continues. Port Angeles to Colville, $2,287. I take it. We load up, leave town, catch the ferry back across, and run east through Washington. By now, spring has turned into a rhythm. Load, strap, drive, back in, get paid, check Pierre's reports, watch the loan take its bite, look for the next step. Colville comes in later, up in northeastern Washington, close to forests and smaller roads, the kind of place that feels far from Seattle, even though it's in the same state. I climb to the construction yard at the back of town, set the forklifts down, and take the money. $14,885 in the bank. Now the number is starting to matter. From Colville, I take lumber to Grangeville, Idaho, $1,174. Mostly because we haven't been there yet. That's becoming part of the job now. Not just the biggest pay, not just the shortest route, but building out the map one town at a time. Grangeville sits in north-central Idaho, a small town surrounded by big landscape, close to the Camas Prairie and the kind of country that makes freight feel personal. Smaller towns need deliveries too, sometimes more than the big places, because there's less margin for things not showing up. I pull into Tractor Supply Company late at night and drop the lumber. Excellent. Then, because apparently sleep is something I only respect in speeches, I take another lumber job. Grangeville to Bozeman, Montana, $1,713. An overnight run. Not the smartest idea, but a useful one. This is the danger of trying to grow. Every job looks like progress. Every hour awake looks like money. But there's a line somewhere between hard working and stupid. And I'm fairly sure I've parked on it with the engine running. Still, the road is quiet, the Mack is steady, and the lumber needs to be in Bozeman. Morning arrives with Montana countryside opening around me. Bozeman sits in the Gallatin Valley, surrounded by mountains, growing fast, full of construction, students, tourists, and all the pressure that comes with a place people keep moving to, which makes lumber a fitting delivery. I bring the load into the yard and back it in after a couple of corrections. Not perfect, but clean. Excellent rating, 111 XP, $1,713. That one helps. Now I need to go home. Bozeman to Billings. Insulation panels from XPO Logistics to Keeney and Nagel, $859. Small job, home direction, perfect end to spring. I load the blue insulation panels onto the flatbed and take the final stretch east. Billings comes back into view on the last day of the season, and I feel that familiar pull of the yard before I even reach it. First, the delivery. I pull into Keeney and Nagel, line the flatbed up, and back it in first time. That feels better than the money. Job complete. Excellent. A small bit of XP, $859. Final spring bank balance, $18,980. Almost 19 grand. Not enough for another truck yet, but close enough that summer has a real target. I drive back to HQ with the flatbed behind me. The 3-bay garage is waiting. Pierre is still out earning with the dry van. The loan is still there. The next truck still needs to be found. The second driver is still just an idea, but the company feels different now. Spring started with $1,000 and a brand new flatbed I could barely afford. It ends with the trailer proven, Washington explored deeper, Idaho stretched wider, Montana connected again, and enough money in the account to start thinking about the third truck. I park the Mac in Billings and shut it down. For a couple of weeks, I need rest, actual rest, not sleep in a truck stop and call it a strategy, because summer is going to matter. The next driver, the next truck, maybe the next trailer upgrade. Hank Haulage is not comfortable yet, but it's moving. And this spring, for the first time, it feels like we're not just surviving the road, we're learning how to use it. Summer arrives with the kind of sunshine that makes every bad winter decision look like it might have been genius. The yard in Billings is dry, bright, and busy. 3 garage bays, 2 white Mack Anthems, 1 dry van, 1 flatbed, Pierre out earning, and $18,624 in the bank. Not a fortune, but enough to do the next dangerous thing. There's a Mack Anthem day cab sitting in the used listings. White, same as ours, same make, same model, 3-star condition, 659,000 miles on the clock, $17,681. It's more expensive than the last 2. Of course it is. The moment you start needing something, the world seems to notice and adds a handling fee. But this is exactly what I wanted. A matching truck. Same fleet look, same parts, same feel. If Hank Haulage is going to grow, I like the idea of the trucks looking like they belong together. So, I buy it. The third white Mack Anthem gets delivered into the final garage slot at Billings. And just like that, the garage is full. 3 trucks. A year ago, I didn't own 1. Now I own 3, and somehow feel poorer than ever. Which means we don't need a celebration. We need another driver. The recruitment list gives me a name. Edward. Driver rating 0.8. Asking wage $61 per delivery plus 51 cents a mile. Some experience in just-in-time deliveries and high-value cargo. Not elite, but useful. And more importantly, available. Edward, this is Hank Morrison from Hank Haulage in Billings.
Good morning, Mr. Morrison. I saw the opening. You're hiring for a company truck?
That's right. Small fleet, growing fast, sometimes faster than I'd like. You'd be driving a used Mack Anthem day cab.
Used does not bother me. Bad maintenance does.
Then we already agree on something. We keep them serviced. Not fancy, but honest.
What kind of work?
Mostly Montana to start. Some Wyoming, maybe Idaho once you're settled. We've got a dry van and a flatbed in the company now. You and Pierre will work between them depending on the load.
Pierre is the other driver?
Yeah, steady guy. He'll help you get used to how we do things.
Then I'd like the opportunity.
You got it. Welcome to Hank Haulage.
Thank you, boss. I'll make the truck earn.
Boss still sounds strange. But now there are 2 people saying it. I assign Edward to the 3rd Mac, set the garage, and watch the company roster update.
You filled the 3rd bay.
You say that like you were watching the bank account cry.
I don't need to watch. I can hear it from here.
$443 left.
Bold.
I was hoping you'd say visionary.
Visionaries still need fuel. What's the plan?
Pierre and Edouard run company work, dry van and flatbed between them. I go back to freight jobs for the rest of summer and chase experience. Big loads, hard backing, special transport if you can find it.
Good. You don't need comfortable work right now. You need reputation work.
Exactly.
Billings to Casper. 3 Peterbilt trucks, $1,600. Dealer transfer.
That'll do for a start.
And once you're in Casper, there are specialist jobs available.
That's what I wanted to hear. I leave the Billings depot with the company suddenly bigger behind me and almost nothing in the account ahead of me. Pierre and Edouard are already out getting started. The dry van and flatbed are no longer just purchases. They're tools, they're income. They're little pieces of Hank Haulage moving around the map without me. That should feel great. It mostly feels terrifying. I pull into the Peterbilt yard in Billings and hook onto 3 brand new trucks. There's something funny about hauling other people's shiny new machines while my own Mac is old enough to have opinions about the weather. But freight is freight. The road to Casper is bright and clean, summer blue over Wyoming. No snow left anywhere, no winter gray pressing down on the cab. Casper arrives under clear skies, and I bring the load into the Peterbilt dealer, circle around back, and park the 3 trucks where they need to go. Excellent delivery, $1,600. The bank gets a pulse again. Before I leave the yard, I get the Mac serviced, $273. A small hit, but worth it. If summer is going to be a hard push, the truck needs to be ready. And Mia was right. Casper has specialist work waiting. A haul truck chassis. Massive, awkward, heavy, and perfect. The money isn't huge, but the experience is. That matters now. Level 10 is the target before summer ends. More skill points, more license, more reputation. If Hank Haulage is going to grow, I need to grow with it. Workers secure the haul truck chassis onto the trailer, chains and straps pulled tight, escorts waiting ahead and behind.
Traffic behind is light. I'll keep them back once we roll.
Appreciate it.
You've done enough of these now. Same rules. No surprises.
That's my favorite kind of job. We roll out at 3:20 in the afternoon. The haul truck chassis sits behind me like a bridge with wheels, huge and exposed, pulling every mirror into full-time employment. Casper's roads give way to open highway, then canyon roads, country roads, rock and sun and long shadows. These are the jobs I wanted for summer. Not just money, not just miles. Tests. A company doesn't build its name doing only the easy loads. At Newmont, I bring the chassis in, ease it into the unload area, and finish the job. Excellent. Just over $1,000. 538 XP. The level bar jumps hard toward level 9. That's why we're here. The normal jobs pay bills. The big ones build Hank. And this summer, both matter.
If you want more specialist work, get yourself to Riverton.
What's in Riverton?
A transport helicopter. Military delivery. Riverton to Jackson. Night operation.
You said helicopter?
Yes.
On a trailer?
Usually how we avoid flying it.
And they want us?
They want a driver with specialist freight history, escort experience, and a clean record.
That sounds more professional than I feel.
Feelings don't go on the invoice.
By night, I'm in Riverton with the helicopter loaded behind me. 33,000 pounds of military hardware strapped down in the dark. It's not the heaviest thing I've hauled. It might be the strangest.
Morrison, night route to Jackson. Keep it smooth. Visibility is good, but we don't rush this one.
Understood.
There'll be some tighter sections on approach. I'll call them early.
I'll stay with you. The town lights fall behind us, and Wyoming turns black beyond the headlights. A helicopter on a trailer looks wrong in the best way, like something that should be above the road has been grounded and handed to a trucker with bills to pay. I keep the Mac steady, every movement deliberate. At the military drop, I guide the trailer in and place the helicopter right over the helipad. That part makes me smile. If you're going to deliver a helicopter, you may as well park it where it looks like it belongs. Excellent delivery. Money in, experience in. Summer is working. The next morning, I shift from strange freight to dangerous freight. Vernal to Pocatello, chlorine, 51,000 pounds, $3,500. That number gets my attention. This isn't special transport, but it's serious work, and it pays like serious work. I hook onto the tanker at UOP, check everything twice, and pull out under clean blue skies. Hazardous freight changes the rhythm. You don't drive scared. Scared makes you sharp for 5 minutes and useless after that. You drive respectful, smooth braking, more space. No lazy turns, no pretending the load doesn't matter. Pocatello, Idaho comes in with rail yards and industry, the sort of place where a chlorine tanker makes sense, even if you don't want to think too hard about what happens if it doesn't. I pull into BNSF, back it carefully, and unload. Excellent. $3,500. That one feels like summer finally paying us back. From the same area, I take anhydrous ammonia back to Billings. $2,500. It's another hazardous run, another big paying job, and a chance to swing through home without wasting the trip. The road back to Billings feels familiar, but the company doesn't. Not anymore. I'm not just going home to rest. I'm going home to check on a fleet. Small fleet. Still counts. I deliver the ammonia to UOP in Billings, backing into the factory area as the evening settles over town. Excellent again. The money is starting to stack. Not fast enough to relax, fast enough to believe. From Billings, I take aromatics to Gillette, Wyoming. $1,454. Gillette is new for us, and that matters. It sits in northeastern Wyoming, known for coal, energy, rail, and the kind of industrial freight that fits Hank Haulage perfectly. Not pretty in the postcard sense, but important, useful, working country. I drop the load under bright summer sun and keep moving. Gillette to Glendive. Grain in a double dry van setup. $1,300. Not much XP, but steady money. The kind of load Edouard or Pierre might handle one day, while I chase the complicated stuff. Glendive to Laurel is LPG gas, $2,000. And that one comes with Mia's real reason for pointing me there.
There are specialist jobs out of Laurel.
Good ones?
Short ones, which, for what you need, might be better.
Experience without losing a whole day?
Exactly. Laurel to Billings, articulated hauler, 97,000 pounds. Escort required, around $1,000, but strong XP.
That's practically local.
Local doesn't mean easy.
No, but it does mean I can get embarrassed close to home. I get the LPG into Laurel by early evening, money in the account, and then the articulated hauler is waiting. Massive machine. Short route, big experience. By 9:20 at night, escorts are in place.
Short run tonight, Morrison. Laurel to Billings. Heavy load, simple route, but watch the turns.
Copy that.
Traffic's late. Should be clean.
Let's keep it that way. The run is quick compared to the others, but the weight makes it feel serious. 97,000 pounds behind the Mack, moving through the dark toward Billings. We bring it into the construction yard up behind town, and I ease the load into place. Excellent. Around $1,000, nearly 500 XP. Level 9. That's a huge moment. One more level to go. Back at base, I park for a rest and check the driver logs. Pierre is moving loads through Montana and Wyoming. Edouard is getting started, slower but steady, taking his first runs without drama. That's all I want from him right now.
Boss, Edward's settling in.
He behaving?
Better than the trailer jackknife I saw at a fuel stop this morning, so yes.
I'm on channel 2, you know.
Good. Then hear this. Take the turns wider than you think.
I've been doing that.
And check the straps more than you think.
I've been doing that too.
Then you might survive us.
That's the goal.
Both of you keep it steady. No hero freight, no rushing. We're building this one clean.
Understood.
Copy that, boss.
2 drivers, 2 trailers, 3 trucks. Level 9. The company is moving. Summer starts to blur after that. Not because nothing happens, because too much happens. Loads come in faster. Driver reports stack up. Fuel bills land. Loan payments disappear every morning like clockwork. Pierre earns. Edouard earns. I keep chasing specialist work because normal freight is good for money, but the big jobs are what move the level bar. The next one is almost funny. Laurel to Billings again. Huge tires this time, probably for the same kind of machine we dragged in the day before. Another escort, another short run, another chunk of experience. The tires sit enormous on the trailer, black circles big enough to make the Mac look like a toy. We deliver them into Newmont in Billings. Excellent. Around $800. Another 400 plus XP. The level 10 target gets closer. Mia's already looking further down the road.
If you want more specialist work, you need to head for Laramie.
Wyoming again?
That's where the next batch is. I can get you paid to move that direction. Billings to Laramie. Work truck chassis. Midas to Ford. $1,200.
And then special jobs after that?
Yes. Turnkey house construction. Massive tech part. Short routes. Good XP.
Book the chassis. The work truck chassis gets loaded, and I run south into Wyoming again. Laramie sits in southeastern Wyoming, a university town, railroad town, and high plains kind of place where the sky feels too big and the wind always looks like it's got plans. I drop the chassis at Ford late in the evening. Excellent. Then I don't sleep, which is not smart, but the next special job is ready, and the end of summer is starting to feel close. Laramie to Rawlins, turnkey house construction, $700, good XP. A whole house section sitting on the trailer in the middle of the night.
Morrison, late run, Laramie to Rawlins. Keep it clean and watch the shoulder.
Copy.
You good to drive?
Tired, but legal and focused.
Stay honest about that. Cargo isn't worth you nodding off.
Understood. That line sticks with me, because he's right. Growth pushes. Money pushes. Deadlines push. But none of it matters if I start pretending tired is the same as tough. We roll out around 1 in the morning. A house on the back of a trailer, Wyoming dark around us. Escort lights cutting the road ahead. Rawlins comes around 3. I deliver the structure to Lennar, slow and careful, and complete the job. Excellent. $700. Around 350 XP. Then I rest. Properly. The next day, I go back for the massive tech part. Laramie to Rawlins again. $800. More XP. By midday, the sun is high. The heat is sitting over the road, and the tech part is strapped down like something that fell out of a science facility and landed on my schedule.
Same corridor, different headache.
That should be on a trucking continuity mug.
You'd sell 3.
That's 2 more than I expected. The run is clean. Bright sun, hot road, heavy trailer, short route. And another delivery into Rawlins. Excellent. More than 300 XP. Level 9.5. Close now. Close enough that I start looking at the money and the company at the same time. Pierre and Edouard are both bringing in cash. Not huge numbers individually, But together, it matters. A few hundred here, a few hundred there, driver reports ticking through Montana, Wyoming, and short regional runs. That is the magic of the company. Not one big payday. Movement without me touching every load. I open the trailer options and look at the dry van upgrade. Extended dry van. Around $30,000. That would make Pierre's side of the company stronger. More cargo options, better capacity, a more serious company trailer. But $30,000 is a lot, and it isn't the only option. A second garage is out there too. Boise, Seattle, somewhere beyond Billings. Mia gives me Rawlins to Salt Lake City. Mobile crusher, $2,700. That's too good to ignore. Salt Lake City is new enough to feel important. Utah's capital, set beside the Great Salt Lake and framed by mountains, with freight, mining, distribution, and interstates all pulling through it. It feels like the kind of city that could matter later if Hank Haulage keeps pushing south. I bring the mobile crusher into a construction yard and complete the delivery. Good money. Not enough XP. That's the story of summer now. The jobs that pay don't always teach. So I take a smaller route from Salt Lake City to Boise. Telescopic handler. Not much money, around $670. But Boise is new, and Boise matters. Idaho's capital, a growing city, a practical middle point between Washington, Montana, Utah, and Wyoming. If Hank Haulage ever opens another garage, Boise starts to make a dangerous amount of sense. I arrive at night, city lights sitting under the Idaho sky, and drop the handler at a building site. Excellent. 95 XP. Small, but useful. Saturday morning, Mia gives me exactly what I need.
Boise to Grangeville. Large reservoir tank. Special transport. $1,188.
How much experience?
Enough that you'll care.
That's the sales pitch.
It's also a scenic route. Rivers, bridges, valleys. Try not to enjoy yourself too loudly.
No promises. The reservoir tank is loaded in Boise, huge and rounded on the trailer. Escorts ready in the summer sun.
Boise to Grangeville. Watch the curves, especially through the valley sections.
Copy.
Traffic's moderate. I'll keep space behind you.
Appreciate it. This one is beautiful. There's no other way to say it. Low rivers cutting through the landscape, valleys wrapped in hills, bridges, sunlight. The sort of route that reminds me why driving still matters, even now that the company is getting bigger behind the scenes. Hank Haulage might become garages and drivers and accounts one day, but this is still the heart of it. A truck, a road, a difficult load, a place I haven't seen before. Grangeville appears like a small town tucked inside huge country. I guide the reservoir tank to the drop-off out back, line it up, and finish the job. Excellent. 779 XP. $1,186. And there it is. Level 10. That one feels different. Not because level 10 is the end, because it proves the summer worked. I put the skill point into the final hazardous license, Class 8 corrosive substances, sulfuric acid, sodium hydroxide, the kind of cargo that makes paperwork sweat. The last few jobs of summer are about finishing strong. Grand Ronde to Omak, Washington. Harvester, just over $2,100. A good machine load, the kind of freight that looks right behind the Mac. And another chance to push through the Northwest while the weather is still on our side. Omak sits in north-central Washington, in country shaped by orchards, dry hills, and routes that feel far away from Seattle's city weight. It's another dot on the map becoming real. The Harvester gets delivered clean. Excellent. Then I move quickly to Yakima for the final run. Yakima to Nampa, Idaho. Autonomous tractor, $2,200. It feels right ending summer with farm machinery. This whole year has been about growing something. Not crops, but a company. Still needs money, still needs timing, still gets ruined if you rush it in the wrong season. I load the autonomous tractor and head out under clear blue skies. Summer driving with the windows down is a different kind of work. The engine sounds warmer, the road feels wider, the whole world seems less interested in fighting you. I think about where year 2 started. Washington border, Jack's stolen car on the shoulder, a dry van behind me, almost no money. Then Seattle, Ray Callahan telling me that owners give up the thing they wanted so the company can use it better. Autumn gave us the garage upgrade, the loan, and Pierre. Winter gave us Utah, special freight, and level 8. Spring gave us the flatbed. Summer gave us Edouard, the third Mac, level 10, and enough money to make a choice. Not enough to do everything, enough to choose one direction. Nampa arrives in Idaho, part of the Boise metro area, close enough to make that second garage idea feel less like a dream and more like a map pin waiting for trouble. I pull into ADM, back the autonomous tractor into place, and complete the final delivery of summer. Excellent. 50 XP, $2,127. Final balance, $31,136. I sit in the cab and look at the number. 31 grand. 3 trucks, 2 trailers, 2 employees, 1 loan still biting every morning, and 1 company that has somehow outgrown the version of me that started it.
Final job cleared.
31,000 in the bank.
That's a lot better than 443.
I was trying not to remember that number.
You bought the 3rd truck, hired Edouard, pushed to level 10, and kept the drivers earning. That's a good summer.
Why does it still feel like I'm behind?
Because now you've got options. Options feel like pressure until you pick one.
That sounds like something Ray would say.
He probably stole it from someone with more invoices.
So, what would you do?
I'd narrow it to 3 choices.
Go on.
Upgrade the dry van. Pierre and Edouard can take better box freight. More flexible loads, more income from the equipment you already own.
Practical.
Second option, save toward another garage. Boise would make sense. It connects Idaho, Washington, Utah, Wyoming, and Montana better than Billings alone.
That one sounds expensive.
It is.
And third?
Upgrade your truck.
Mine.
You're still driving the oldest business problem in the company.
Don't talk about the Mac like that. It has feelings.
It has repair bills. Anyway, have a think about it, yeah? Alvarez out.
That one lands because she's right. The Mac got me here, but getting here and staying here are 2 different things. So I'm leaving this one open.